Me, doctor.
Sorry, only you?
Oh,
Only,
yeah.
only. Okay. How about the rest? You able to access the bioedit? Because I heard some people, if they use the Mac OS version, so they cannot download the bioedit. Okay, so if you have that problem, so please proceed to the physical lab. Okay, and then you can do the work or take the lab test there. Okay, the lab staff will be there shortly to help you if you have any problem. Okay, so I think we are going to start with the practical 4. So let me share the screen. Okay, so can you see the practical manual?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Okay, so basically this is the practical 4. Okay, and then this one advanced database searching. Okay, so you just rename. Okay, advanced. Sorry. Um, okay, so, mm, okay, okay. Um, so for this practical, is actually follow up the. I mean, is the continue from the our lecture last time. As I mentioned that we have some limitation using the standard or normal blast if we want to find out the distant related protein. Okay, so that's why we need the more advanced algorithm for blast. Okay, to make sure that we can get the homolog protein to our query. Okay, although they have share the limited sequence identity. So for the learning outcome, by the end of this practical, you're able to find out distantly related sequences, and then you can use the combination of pattern matching and local alignment to reduce the probability of the false positive. Okay, so this is the background information. Okay, so we have okay, okay, myoglobin. Okay, if you read paper that I have upload, I think a few weeks ago regarding the globin family. Okay, so basically the myoglobin and alpha globin and also beta globin is homologous to each other, right? But the problem is the myoglobin and beta globin, especially they are uh, what we call they are a distant protein. Okay, although they share a very similar 3D structure, but what we call they have the very limited sequence identity. So if you use the beta globin as a query and then you perform the normal blast B, right, and then you cannot get the myoglobin in the list, okay, because of the limitation of the normal or standard blast. So means that you need to go for the more advanced algorithm, okay, which is the Psi plus or hammer, and then you can use the pi plus also to get or to find out the distance related protein. Okay, so if you can see here, okay, okay, so this A, okay, so this A is the what we call myoglobin, okay, myoglobin. Okay, so this one is the beta globin, okay, also still under the globin family, hemoglobin family. Okay, so if you put this together, myoglobin and beta globin, okay, you put them together and then you do the superimpose, you can see that actually they are homologous because they share the similar or same, very similar 3D structure. However, if you look detail at the sequence level, okay, and then you compare nucleotide and also the amino acid, basically they have a very limited amino acid identity. So below the 20%, okay, sorry, below 30%. So means that uh, below 30%, and then even if it reached the 20%, it becomes under the twilight zone. So means that you are not sure either these proteins are really homologs to each other, or basically they are different protein at all. Okay, but if you look at the structure, they are very similar, so you can assume that these two protein are actually homologous to each other. So to confirm this, so you need more advanced algorithm to perform the homology searching. Okay, so that's why okay, we need to go for the advanced database, right? Okay, so that one is the one of the limitation. And then the second one, if you want to compare along perisequence, as I mentioned before, you also uh, need to perform uh, uh, more advanced algorithm, okay, because you need algorithm that is faster than the normal blast, and then you need to explore both local and global strategy. Okay, so for practical point one, so we are going to use or test on the blast, which is position specific iterated blast. Okay, so what you can do is actually wait before that. Okay, before we go and then do the practical, so please refer to number three. So means that you will use the retinol binding protein RBP. Okay, so this one, okay, as a query again the protein database. Okay, so as a query again this protein database, right? Mm, okay, so you can go to the BLAST and CBI. Okay, so under the protein BLAST here, you can click this one. Okay, so in this box, okay, so in this box, okay, you can enter a session number or GI or FASTA sequence, right? Okay, so just copy paste for example here. Okay, all right, and then okay, for the database, you use the standard non-redundant database. And then for this one, you choose the PDB. Okay, protein database. Right. Hmm. Okay, so under this program selection, okay, this one the algorithm. So this is the one that you need to choose. Okay, if you use this one, the protein blast, I mean the standard or normal blast. So it has a limitation because it's only find the very close related protein. Okay, so since now we are going to find out the distant related protein, so we choose um blast here. Okay, okay. So then you click here because you want to in the new window, the result in the new window. And the one this one you can also adjust another algorithm parameter, but for now it's all default. Okay, so you can go to plus. Okay, so it will take some time to finish. Okay, while waiting, please also do it together. Okay. Okay, can you see the output page here? Yes or no? All right. Okay. So as I mentioned in the last lecture, okay, you focus on the this one. Okay, sequences with e value better than threshold. Right. So the threshold here is a default, but actually you can also customize your threshold. This one is the cutoff value where you think that you can accept the result above this value, right? So okay, and then the other one is here. You see the PS1, PSI blast iteration one. Okay, so means this one is the first iteration, and then you see here e value. Focus on the e value, and then this one is the query cover. Mean how percent they use the what we call the query to match to the subject. Okay, okay, and then this one so the percentage of identity, right? And then also the total score here and maximum score. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you see the result sequences with e value better than threshold. Okay, and then you observe one by one here. Okay, but make sure before you do this one, you need to have some reading. You need to do a reading because you need to have some background about the globin family. You need to have some idea so that you can understand the results very well. Okay, so from this list, okay, try to find out myoglobin if you can. Okay, because your objective is to find out the distant related protein, which is the myoglobin. Okay, okay. But you know that when we do the search for homology protein, and then the protein is distant related, so probably you cannot see or find out or find any myoglobin in the list for the first iteration. Okay. Right, and then you can see also this one is the e value worse than threshold. So mean this one is not a significant result. Okay, but since you don't see any myoglobin in the list with the significant result means above the threshold, so then you need to run for the next iteration as I mentioned before. Okay, so here you see, okay, run PSSI Blast iteration 2. So means that you need to run the next iteration. Okay, so you run here. So again, we need to wait for the results. Okay, so you see this one is the result for the iteration 2. All right. Okay, you see here PSI Blast iteration 2. Okay, and then from the previous one, the result is only 200 plus. So now it become 492. So means it's increased about 200 sequence. Okay, okay, 200 sequence. Okay. So again, as I mentioned before, also you need to check the result one by one, or you can inspect visually. All right. Um, okay. Because for this blast, okay, iteration blast, so it's easily to get the correction if you find out that something, I mean, suspicious protein are included in here, mean the sequencer will E value better than threshold, so you need to remove, okay, before you go for the next iteration. Okay, let's say that for example here the high resolution X-ray study recombinant human hemoglobin. So this hemoglobin means for example from your reading, this one is actually not homologous or not homolog to the beta globin or myoglobin. So you can untick this box so then it will not be included in the next iteration. So it's very important for you to check the suspicious protein from the list here because once this protein, I mean the false positive protein is included, for example, okay, it cannot be removed for the next, I mean, following iteration, because it will start to mesh, or to it will start to bring the other family that actually related to this protein, but not related to the myoglobin or beta globin at all, right? So you will get the more false positive results. So it's very important before you go for the next iteration. So you need to visually inspect this protein. Okay. So for this iteration too, okay, you go check and inspect. Okay, so then you can see that there are a new about 200 protein highlight in the yellow, started to be included in the e value, what we call better than e value, sorry, e value better than threshold, right? So means that it started to find out the what we call the distant related protein, which is homologs to the beta globin. Okay, so if you remember that I have mentioned about this, what we call the group here. Okay, okay. So basically, we have the protein family, one protein family. This is the globin, for example, and then this one is the myoglobin is here. Okay, and then RBP is here. Okay, beta globin. So when you do the normoblast, you only get all what we call related protein, close related protein here that match your query. But once you started to use more advanced blast, find out that this protein here, right? So you can see that this protein will be included in the result, because this one is all one family. Okay, but if you see that the suspicious protein, which is that under, this family, okay, so started to come here, okay, included in your list. So means that this one will match to another protein here. Okay, so this another one family. Okay, so once this protein, the list of from this family. Okay, let's say that this family A. Okay, this one is the family B. Okay, your objective is to find out the distant protein, but still in the the B family. Okay, but when you do the inspection, you find out that one suspicious protein from this protein A, which is not related at all with the family B, okay, started to be included. So you need to remove, because if you don't remove, okay, when this protein from this protein family A included in the B, so it will attract another protein distant related to it, and then will bring to here also. So this is all the fast positive result. Okay. Okay, so going back to this one, for the second iteration, you can see that the highlight in the yellow is the new proteins comes in. So you go and check, is there any myoglobin listed here? Okay, if not, then you need to go for the what we call next iteration. Okay, you need to repeat the step until normally we will go for the iteration 4 or 5. Okay, because other more than that, it will be included. It will be include the false positive protein also. Okay, so then you go down and check the protein, right? So if you still didn't find out, the myoglobin, so you can go here. Okay, go for the iteration, okay, 3 here, so you can and then you click run. Okay, and then you can wait for the result, and then you will repeat the same step, right? So we back to the practical. Okay, so you see here, okay, you go for the PSI Blast iteration 2, you analyze the result, go and inspect visually, Okay, and then try to avoid or remove the suspicious protein to make sure that I mean the corruption not happen. Okay, so this one is as I mentioned before. Okay, you have what we call the protein family here, or the lipocholine. Okay, so you have a very close here, and then this one is a very distant, but it's still under one roof. I mean, one family. Okay, so next, okay, so we finish on the fibroblasts. So next we will move to the practical 4.2, which is focus on the fibroblasts, okay, pattern head initiated blast. Okay, so again, as I mentioned last time, you can actually design or create your syntax pattern, okay, to come out, I mean, to find out the uh, uh, signature of the amino acid residue that help to determine the protein family. Okay, so for example, a signature might be an active site of enzyme, a string of amino acid residue that define a structural or functional domain of the protein family. Okay, for example, here you have the enzyme. Okay, Geobacillus whatsoever. Okay, so this enzyme, they have motif. Okay, in here they choose active site. Okay, so they have a very what we call significant pattern here among this family. So you can use this pattern and then create your syntax to find more uh, related, and also either the close related or distant related protein to this protein family. Okay, so again, sorry, before that, um, wait. Okay, so before that, before we go for the pi blast, so you can see the one access the protein sequence of your bacillary here. Okay, so from the PubMed and then paste the window. So mean here, sorry, okay, get the section number first. Okay, so you need to get the FASTA format. Right, sorry. Okay, okay. So again, you go for the sorry, what it's okay. Let me see, Pi plus. Okay, you go for the protein blast. Okay, so you need to the what we call pi blast here. Okay, is also under this I mean protein blast for protein, but the algorithm you select here, either you use the normal blast p or more advanced, which is psi blast and pi blast, or the one another one is a data blast. This one is to look for the more huge I mean query. Okay, okay, so for that one, before you go to this one, you need you enter the FASTA sequence. Okay, so okay, you go to the SCBI. You go to the nucleotide. Okay, so get the session number. Okay, okay, so you can see here there is the what we call the nucleotide. Okay, sequence of this geobacillus, right? So you need to have a protein sequence here. Okay, so you can get the FASTA format. So you go to protein ID, it's easier. Okay, okay. So you get this protein ID and then you click the FASTA to get the amino acids. Right? Okay, so from this one you can click. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so enter the sequence here. So again, the title here you can rename if you want. Okay, and then the database here. Okay, choose the protein database. Okay. So the for program selection. Okay, so we use the Fiblas because we want to check for the signature for the specific function of the region of that protein. In this case, it's the enzyme. So let's go ahead and check the what we call um, okay here practical. Okay, so this practical is already designed the pi pattern for you here. Okay, so let's try here. Okay, so this one is derived from the number five. This one is derived from the conserved region of lipases. Right. So then, okay. So you what we call you put the pattern here, right? Right. So you see that one, this pattern. Okay. So then you click blush and you wait for the results. Okay. So now you see the output. So as I mentioned last time, this Pi uh, Plus also launched from the same page with the what we call Cyblast. Okay. So that's why you can see the result also they have included the what we call what happened here? Hmm, just a minute. Okay. 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 So again, you see here the sequence with e-value better than default. They give you 32 sequence selected. Okay, so if you see that the previous, if you use the Cyblast, okay, it gave you, I mean, the first iteration, it gave you about 200 plus of that protein that homologs to your query. Okay, uh, okay. So for here, using the query for the geobacillus because you want to search for the specific motif. Okay, so it gives you about 32 sequence selected. And I see this one is the blast ejection one. Okay, so again, for this result also you need to go and inspect visually, and then please make sure you have equipped yourself with the knowledge regarding this protein first. Okay, so then you can go and inspect visually. If there is a suspicious protein, you can remove or untick the box before you go for the next iteration. Okay, so if you click this one, for example, okay, you can see this, okay, this string, right? Okay, you can see this string. Okay, so mean from this one, okay, until okay, this one. Okay. So this is the pattern, okay, that you have created for this search. Okay, so you can see here is that why. So if you go back to the sorry, okay. Um Wait for a while. Stay here or here? Wait. Sorry. Um. hmm, Okay. Okay. Sorry, I made mistake. Okay. So basically, this asterisk, okay, referring to where position that you design or create the syntax. Okay. So means that here. Okay. Here, from here until here. Okay. Sorry, it's not here. Okay. So basically, this asterisk is above, not the below one. Okay. So you can see here, from here until here. Okay, so it is the pattern or syntax that you have created before, and then you can see is I. Okay, is I, right? I A H S Q G S Q G. Okay, so means if you refer back to the syntax that you have mentioned before, so it's either, here is either what we call the first one, either I or L. Okay, so you can see here it says either I or L for first one. So this one is I. Okay, pattern. And then the second one, mm, okay, it must or it's compulsory I. Okay, so you check back. Okay, so this one, the second one. Which one? Oh, wait. Okay, so it's here. Okay, so you have I A H S Q G. Right, so means from the previous syntax, okay, the first one either I or L. Okay, so it says here is I, and then the second was a compulsory I. Okay, so it's compulsory, it's all I. Okay, the second one, and then the third one, you see here A or, here the third one is either, okay, A or G. Okay, so you see here, third one either A or G. So here is A. Okay, right? And then the third one, uh, okay, the third one, okay, here, okay, the third one is H, compulsory H. So you can, sorry, the fourth one is H. So here is H. Okay, so means it will find out that pattern that actually similar to whatever that you have created. Okay, so then, okay, uh, okay, okay. So now, okay. Right. So you have okay, you have okay, you already run that blast and then run the pi blast. So you can analyze the result. Okay, you see the pattern, right? So now you need to design new pattern. Okay. So you can design a new pattern based on the above alignment and you can repeat the step 4 to 6. So mean from this alignment, okay, you try to design a new pattern. For example, let's say that you want to design a pattern for this box. Okay, so try to create a syntax based on this one. Okay, So then you put the syntax again on this uh, blast, okay, here. Okay, here, okay, and then try to run again, and then you see the alignment that I mean the output, the results. Okay. Okay. So do you have any questions? So we finish this practical. Do you have any question? Yes, everyone.
I think no, doctor.
Okay. Can you follow?
Yes.
Yes,
Doctor.
doctor. All right. So for this practical, you have 2 weeks to finish. So then later I will create I mean Dropbox in the Putra Blast for this practical 4. So you can submit by, today is the 12th. Okay, so you submit by 25th. Okay. Please make sure don't late. This one you can submit hard copy only. Okay.
Doctor, about the lab report before the practical 3, when should we
Oh yeah,
submit?
practical 3 is before Raya, right?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so as I mentioned, for every practical you have 2 weeks. So May is supposed to due by today. Okay, but I think I will give you time until Monday. So can you submit by 16?
Can, doctor.
Okay, so I will create 2 Dropbox, practical 3 and practical 4. Okay, you submit practical 3 by 16 and practical 4 by 25th. Okay, so both this practical you submit online. Okay,
Okay,
all
doctor.
right. Okay, sure. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So we finished about the practical. Okay, now we move to the lab test. Okay, so I'm going to share you. Um, okay, so if you open the Putra Blast, okay, so it's still hidden because it starts at 10, right? I'm going to open now. Okay, so now the test is available. Okay, so please go through the task, the instruction. Okay, and then you can do. You have about 2 hours to finish the lab test.